Introduction to Economic Amplifiers. Economic amplifiers are the active components of economic engineering. The basic characteristic of any amplifier, mechanical, electrical, or economic, is that it receives an input control signal and delivers energy from an independent energy source to a specified output terminal in a predictable relationship to that input control signal. The simplest form of economic amplifier is a device called advertising. If a person is spoken to by a TV advertiser as if he or she were a 12-year-old, then due to suggestibility, he or she will, with a certain probability, respond or react to that suggestion with the uncritical response of a 12-year-old and will reach into his or her economic reservoir and deliver its energy to buy that product on impulse when he or she passes it in the store. An economic amplifier may have several inputs and outputs. Its response might be instantaneous or delayed. Its circuit symbol might be a rotary switch if its options are exclusive, quantitative, go, or no-go. Or it might have its parametric input-output relationships specified by a matrix with internal energy sources represented. Whatever its form might be, its purpose is to govern the flow of energy from a source to an output sync in direct relationship to an input control signal. For this reason, it is called an active circuit element or component. Economic amplifiers fall into classes called strategies. And in comparison with electronic amplifiers, the specific internal functions of an economic amplifier are called logistical instead of electrical. Therefore, economic amplifiers not only deliver power gain, but also, in effect, are used to cause changes in the economic circuitry. In the design of an economic amplifier, we must have some idea of at least 5 functions, which are 1. The availability input signals. 2. The derived output control objectives. 3. The strategic objective. 4. The available economic power sources. 5. The logistical options. The process of defining and evaluating these factors and incorporating the economic amplifier into an economic system has been popularly called game theory. The design of an economic amplifier begins with a specification of the power level of the output, which can range from personal to national. The second condition is accuracy of response. Example, how accurately the output action is a function of the input commands. High gain combined with strong feedback helps to deliver the required precision. Most of the error will be in the input data signal. Personal input data tends to be specific, while national input data tends to be statistical. The personal paper trail. Personal buying habits, etc. Personal consumer preferences. Checking accounts, credit card purchases, tagged credit card purchases with credit card purchase of product bearing the UPC, Universal Product Code. Assets. checking accounts, savings accounts, real estate, business, automobiles, etc., safety deposit at bank, stock market, liabilities, creditors, enemies, see legal, loans, consumer credit, government sources, ploys. Principle of this ploy, the citizen will almost always make the collection of information easy if he or she can operate on the free sandwich principle of eat now and pay later. Welfare, Social Security, USDA surplus food, doles, grants, subsidies. Government sources via intimidation, Internal Revenue Service, OSHA, Census, etc. Other government sources, surveillance of U.S. mail, habit patterns, programming, strengths and weaknesses, activities, sports, hobbies, etc. See legal for fear, anger, etc. Crime record, hospital records, drug sensitivities, reaction to pain, etc. Psychiatric records, fears, angers, disgusts, adaptability, reaction to stimuli, violence, suggestibility or hypnosis, pain, pleasure, love and sex. Methods of coping of adaptability, behavior, consumption of alcohol, consumption of drugs, entertainment, religious factors influencing behavior, other methods of escaping from reality. Payment modes operandi, MO, pay on time, etc. Payment of telephone bills, energy purchases, electric, gas, so on. Water purchases, repayment of loans, house payments, automobile payments, payments on credit cards. Political sensitivity, beliefs, contacts, position, strengths, weaknesses, projects, activities. Legal inputs, behavior control. Excuses for investigation, search, arrest, or employment of force to modify behavior. Court records, police records, the NCIC, driving record, reports made to police, insurance information, anti-establishments acquaintances, national input information, business sources via IRS, etc. Prices of commodities, sales, investments in stocks, inventory, production tools and machinery, buildings and improvements, the stock market, banks and credit bureaus, credit information, payment information, miscellaneous sources, polls and surveys, publications, telephone records, energy and utility purchases. Short list of outputs. Outputs. Create controlled situations. Manipulation of the economy, hence society. Control by control of compensation and income. Allocates opportunities, destroys opportunities, controls the economic environment, controls the availability of raw materials, controls capital, controls bank rates, controls the inflation of the currency, controls the possession of property, controls industrial capacity, controls manufacturing, controls the availability of goods, controls the prices of commodities, controls services, the labor force, etc., controls payments to government officials, controls the legal functions, controls the personal data files, uncorrectable, by the party slander, controls advertising, controls media content, controls material available for TV viewing. This engages attention from real issues, engages emotions, creates disorder, chaos, and insecurity, controls design of more probing tax forms, controls surveillance, controls the storage of information, develops psychological analysis and profiles of individuals, controls legal functions, controls sociological factors, controls health options, preys on weakness, cripples strength, leeches wealth and substance. Table of strategies. Do keep public ignorant to get less public organization. Do access to control points, prices, and sales to get required reaction to output for feedback. Do create preoccupation to lower defenses. Do attack the family unit to get control of the education of the young. Do give less cash and more credit and doles to get more self-indulgence and more data. Do attack the privacy of the church to destroy faith in this sort of government. Do social conformity to get computer program simplicity, get maximum economic data and minimal enforcement problems. Do stabilize the consent coefficients to get simplicity. Do tight control of variables to get simpler computer input data, greater predictability. Do establish boundary conditions to get problem simplicity and solution of differential and difference equations. Do have proper timing to get less data shift and blurring. Do minimum resistance to control to get maximum control. Do maximize control to get ultimate objective. Do collapse of currency to destroy the faith of the American people in each other. End.